MC is on her way, and as soon as she gets here, I will defer to her. May I invite you to stand for the national anthem?
Please stand as we honor Jamaica, our culture, and our history.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I ask you to remain standing while Mr. Alton Ali Henry come forward for the invocation.
Could we bow our heads to prayer? Loving God, creator of heaven and earth, Lord, we give you thanks, we give you praise, and we give you glory. Lord, we want to thank you for this occasion. Lord, we pray, oh God, that you will bless this afternoon proceedings. Lord, we pray for a blessing upon the organization. We pray, oh God, for the candidates that is about to be commissioned. We also pray, oh God, for the friends and families who are here this afternoon. Lord, may you get glory and honor. In Jesus' holy and matchless name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. You may be seated, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I'll invite Mrs. Lorna Cohall to give the official welcome.
The Honorable Bishop Conrad H. Piskin, CDJP, Custos of St. James. The Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice. Members of the Custos Advisory Committee. Distinguished guests. Members of the media. Relatives and friends, good afternoon. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to welcome you to this installation ceremony in the parish of St. James, as we formally install 28 new JPs who have answered the noble call to serve. Today marks a significant milestone, one that reflects our parish's enduring commitment to justice, integrity, and service to community. We are honored to be under the leadership of the Honorable Custos of St. James, Bishop Conrad H. Pitkin, whose stewardship, vision, and dedication to civic responsibility continue to strengthen the fabric of our parish. Custos Pitkin, we thank you, sir, for your guidance and for the confidence you have placed in those being installed today. We are also privileged to have the Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, who will serve as our guest speaker. Minister Chuck, a special welcome to you, sir. We thank you for honoring us with your presence and for your unwavering leadership in advancing justice, the justice reform, and upholding the rule of law throughout Jamaica. Your participation adds distinction to this occasion, and we look forward to your message. To our newly justices of the peace who will be installed, we extend a heartfelt congratulations to you. Your installation today is not merely ceremonial, it is a solemn charge. You are entrusted to serve with fairness, discretion, and compassion, and to be pillars of integrity within the communities you serve. We warmly welcome the relatives and friends who have gathered in support of your appointees. Your presence is a powerful reminder that behind every public servant stands a network of encouragement, sacrifice, and prayer. Today we honor the role you have played in this journey. To our invited guests and members of the Custodies Committee, and partners in civic and community life, we thank you for joining us. Your presence underscores the shared responsibility we all bear in promoting justice, order, and social harmony in the parish of St. James. As we proceed with today's ceremony, may we be reminded that justice is not only administered through laws and offices, but lived out daily through integrity, service, and respect for the dignity of all. Once again, welcome to everyone, and thank you for being a part of this meaningful and memorable occasion. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kohal. There are going to be some changes to the program. We will still have the musical selection, after which the newly commissioned Justice of the Peace will take the oath of allegiance and oath of office. We will then hear from our custos, Rotoliorum, after which the minister will speak. We're going to thank you for understanding. Mr. Music Man, how much time do you need? You're not working with AI today, are you? No? All right, so we'll give him a little time to set up. He would need some time to put himself together. I am certain that we're all looking forward to the message from both our custos and from the minister. Usually the minister gives a signal admonition of where he intends for us to go. And it's very important, because if you go on that field, especially today, and he'll tell you, without the right focus and the right strategies, the right mindset, you may likely go astray. So we're going to look forward to that message. I'm still waiting on our musician to tell us if he needs 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. Okay, so we should be there in short order. I'm certain that you would have gone through the training. I'm seeing some names and faces, familiar faces, and I'm quite certain that we are all ready to go, ready to hit the ground running and to serve our citizens. Serving as a Justice of the Peace is a very important office in this country, and I'm certain that you understand, being here today after your training, that you intend to do well. Okay, I know there will be refreshment after this occasion, and we're not going to move that around on the program. So I see some faces lighting up, but that will remain at the end of the program, I think. So as soon as we have everything in order and all of that, after the musical selection, we will do the oath of office and the allegiance, and then we will have the important addresses of the evening. Mr. Music Man, are you now ready to play? Well, he's here with us today, which means that he's not going to be on a platform come the 1st of February for a Grammy. But we hope that he gets there one day. There are a number of duties that will come, and I'm certain the Custos will guide all those newly commissioned JPs. There are a number of duties that's performed under umbrella. You have jail visitations. Some of us do mediations. We sit in the lay magistrate court. Some of us do restorative justice. And I'm quite certain that it would have been explained to you that it is not about just signing photographs and writing recommendation letters. And one of the things I know the minister has been pressing is dealing with conflicts at the community level. The Office of the Justice of the Peace was formed to deal with those conflicts at the community level. It might not seem important, but it will stop a lot of those actions from getting to the police or getting to court where it may cost more. And the conflict never ends as long as there are dissatisfied parties to any conflict. So as Justice of the Peace, I'm certain the minister will speak more to it, you are required to intervene even when you think it is a rough thing to do. And so in order to get your mind ready, as you meditate on those thoughts, we'll invite now the musician to come forward and render his piece. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
I apologize for being late. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart. Lord, I want to be more holy in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be more holy in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be more holy in my heart. Lord, I want to be more loving in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be more holy in my heart. In my heart, in my heart, Lord. Jesus, in my heart, Lord, I want to be like Jesus in my heart. In my heart, in my heart, Lord, I want to be more holy in my heart. Thank you.
That was Tajay Beswick with that musical tribute. Give him a round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we'll receive instructions as to how the procession for the oath of allegiance and oath of office. No, yes, I asked that we move it around.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I also join you in thanking Mr. Beswick for that beautiful rendition. And you may want to put your hands together one more time and recognize him. Sir, you have just sold yourself, and I've just assumed the responsibility of being your manager. So from here on, anyone who would like to engage Mr. Beswick, please speak with the custos. I am going to invite those who are to be sworn to stand first. I understand there's a Bible on your chair. So you will need to open your program. There's a folder section, and inside of the folder you'll find the oath of allegiance and the oath of office. I think it's 14 of you, am I correct? So we're going to do them installment of 7. So 7 will step forward first. Others will remain standing where you are, and those will return and remain standing until you complete your section, your face. This way. All right. I suggest you put the program on top of your Bible, hold it in your left hand, raise your right hand. Thank you. You will first repeat the oath of allegiance, and you will insert your name, I, and then you continue. I will indicate when you will begin. Just want to make sure that you're okay. So, all right hand raised. All right, so please commence. The oath of office. Thank you very much. You may return and remain standing. And the others, you come this way while they're coming in. Thank you. All right. You will follow. Raise your right hand and insert your name after I, and you continue. Please begin. Oath of office. Thank you. You may return to your seat. And Mr. Gray will receive the Bibles from you. You may be seated. And those for affirmation, please stand. And likewise, in installment of 7, please step forward. You will raise your right hand, insert your name after I, and continue. Please begin. Yes. I should have instructed that you stop at people of Jamaica, all right? My bad. Please continue. Go ahead. Raise your right hand. Start again. Thank you very much. Please return to your seat. And as you go, the others will come. Raise your right hand, and you may omit, so help me God. Okay, thank you. You insert your name after I. Please begin. Affirmation of office. Thank you. Please return to your seat. You may be seated, I'm sorry. I was just elevated to being a celebrity. All right, we're going to go into the presentations of writs and presentation of seal. As is customary, the Honorable Minister will join me. Please stand, everyone. I say everyone, sorry, just the co-minister. I think so. Okay. All right.
Pepita Baker Miller. Step forward. Miguel Beckford. Paul Brown. Simone Cooper Bernard, or Bernard Cooper. Denise Dell. Sharonette Grizzle, Joseph Horton, Alton Henry, George Lee, Anika Malcolm Lewis, Cheryl Mackenzie, Deshauna White, Patrick Williams, Cornelia Smith,
We have a problem with the one that, so we're going to hand it back when he gets it, and then we just call this name, so I just tell him what name to call. All right?
Janice Allen,
Sean White. 1 second. Sean White.
she didn't get hers. Western Brown,
White. Right, do that. Do this one next.
Deshauna White, Mr. Gray, Orit Clark, Carly Duhaney. Albert Ferguson. Everton Ferguson. Maria Allen. Maria Frey. Anthony Gray. Judith Hunt. Italia Jagon. Jagan. KJ Johnson. Manish Melwani. Carrie-Ann Quayle Casserly. Shirley Williams. Thank you. Please double check your certificates to make sure it belongs to you. You have the correct one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kohal, for your assistance. Could you put your hands together kindly and congratulate our newly commissioned Justices of the Peace for the island of Jamaica, residing in the parish of St. James. If you did not receive your writ or your seal, I ask you to see the persons at the table and to be arranged for you. Know that Mr. Lewis, where are you, sir? Mr. Lewis is named the gentleman who completed his course with the persons from Manchester. Right. Smith, Cornelius Smith. He had not completed his course, and so he was permitted to join cohort from Manchester. And I only received his seal and writ yesterday, Minister. But again, I want to thank your office sincerely because they make sure that we had it for today. So it is actually here in St. James. So let not your heart be troubled and let it not skip another beat. The important pieces of instruments that you have is the writ and the seal. You're asked to guard them well and protect them to the best of your ability. The Honorable Delroy, Chuck, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, members of the Custos Advisory Committee, I see our senior parish court judge, Judge Fairclough, her honor with us today, and I know out of your busy schedule, St. James is always special to you, so you had to be here. Mr. Lachman Ramchandani, a very strong supporter of the Office of the Custos and a Senior Justice of the Peace. I know you affectionately call him Lachu, but his correct name is Lachman. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends and family members, possibly colleagues of the Justices of the Peace, members of the media, let me say a pleasant good afternoon to you all. Thank you. It is indeed an honor and delight to greet you all and to particularly join with Mrs. Cohall to extend warm welcome to our hard-working minister, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, who has been in Western Jamaica since yesterday morning and will be here, I would love to say, for the rest of the weekend, but not completely. Minister Chuck, we are also pleased that you have accepted our invitation not just to attend our first commissioning ceremony for 2026, for the 28 new Justices of the Peace for parish, but to give the main address. Let me also extend an apology for Mrs. Pitkin. We actually have two functions this afternoon. And after discussion, we decided she would stay for the other one, because that's a friend's birthday, so you can understand. We are gathered at this time, ladies and gentlemen, when our nation is still finding its footing after the passage of a name that I really don't like to call, Melissa. And in the days and weeks that followed, we witnessed loss and disruption. But amazingly, we also witnessed resilience, neighbor helping neighbor, a sense of unity and togetherness of our citizens in St. James and in Western Jamaica. Communities standing together. And it is within this context that today's ceremony takes on even a deeper meaning. Naturally, this occasion stirs a range of emotions for our newly appointed, or may say minted, justices of the peace, and for those who stand with you. Yet, if there is one emotion that unites all of us, it is gratitude. Gratitude for life, for strength, and for the opportunity to serve. But most importantly, gratitude to God for his goodness and his divine protection over all of us. When I visited the various areas in St. James, and I've been over in neighboring Westmoreland and Hanover, I haven't gone to St. Elizabeth yet, and I've been to Trelawney. And one resounding word coming from everybody, even in the midst of the devastation, we have life, and we shall rise again, even stronger than we were before. So, ladies and gentlemen, many people journey through life focused on career and family, and rightly so. But there comes a moment when the call to give back grows louder. To our new JPs, you have paused, reflected, and voluntarily chosen a path of service. The operator word, you have voluntarily done so. I didn't come searching for you. I didn't send anyone to find you. You found us. And you inquired, how can you serve your country at this level? And especially in times such as these, that choice matters. Your willingness to serve will make a real and lasting difference. Ladies and gentlemen, service is not confined to special moments. It is woven into the rhythm of daily life. Opportunities to uplift, to mediate, and to restore dignity. This will meet you in ordinary places. So it is my hope that we will work together, and that your presence as justices of the peace will be visible, accessible, and trusted within your communities. Too often, persons complain that there are no JPs in their communities. Too often, we are told that we don't know the justice of the peace in a parish where there are almost, if not with this 28, 1,000 justices of the peace on record. The second or third largest in the island. Not the second, I think not the second. Third or fourth largest. We are behind Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine. So we are fourth largest in the island. Yet we are told that our citizens can't find JPs. This ought not to be so. In the interview, you're asked not about your availability where you worked. You're asked about the availability where you live and how accessible you would be. So may I remind you, distinguished justices of the peace, this JP thing is a post-nominal by any name in our front, the way we put it, It's not. It's about service to Jamaicans. I know 1,000 ministers, we still should have some more. We're still going to have some more. There's a pile of applications on my desk that we haven't even started interviewing yet or shortlisting. But we have enough justice of the peace in this parish for citizens to be able to find one. So I'm going to ask you, don't wait for people to come find you. Announce yourself that you're a new justice of the peace in the community in which you live. If you're a pastor, you're not a JP for your church. You're a justice of the peace for the parish of St. James, and more importantly, for the community in which you live. I remember asking an interviewee, if we should consider you as a justice of the peace, and a young person just got a letter today that they have been accepted at the University of the West Indies or UTEC or whichever tertiary institution, and it's 8 o'clock at night and they come to you because they have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, would you pause and give that recommendation? Would you? I will not tell you the response. But there's someone sitting in this room after that interview that said, Costas, I can identify with that. If that JP did not answer that call that night, I would not be sitting at this table with you. That's what service is all about. Helping others, uplifting others, walking shoulders with your fellow citizens. So to serve your community is to strengthen it, to help shape the place where people feel supported and valued. So I therefore encourage you to continue serving with compassion and integrity. May I emphasize integrity? Because there are times when you're going to have to say no, because you have to maintain your integrity. Every now and then you see something the gleaner that a JP was decommissioned. And it's embarrassing why they were accepting payment, which I call bribe, to sign a document when you promised that you would never do such thing. In my sojourn, we have not decommissioned anyone in St. James for that. But they think I'm childish enough to know that it might not be happening. Oh no, I don't know. It might just well, but the customers haven't found out yet. But the day it comes to light, Be assured that the custos will be right, pending the letter to the minister to ask His Excellency to do us the honorable favor of removing such names from our honored role in this parish. May I remind you, the office of the Justice of the Peace brings satisfaction for service, not financial reward. So as we navigate this new norm, our country and our communities continue to change in profound ways. These changes test us personally within our families and across our communities. Yet, they also reminds us of the power to serve and the importance of committed citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, let us remain steadfast in giving of our time and our talent so that together we may build a better tomorrow for Jamaica. I said before that the two most important instruments is your seal and the writ in your hand, the one with that big red seal there. Yeah, man. Most person frame it nicely, put it on the wall in the office. It's the first way you put yours there at home in the study. On the wall in the, I told you, on the wall in the office. Keep it safe. Keep the seal safe. You have the 2018 Justice of the Peace Act in your possession. Read it. Read every piece of legislation that a JP must interact with. Rubber seals are not legal instruments. Minister might very well, not sure, tell you that not to use them. They are merely for use of convenience. Some person said that they can't write good today, use the stamp. But you cannot stamp a document with that rubber stamp that you have. It's not legal. It is with the embossed seal in your hand. So it is your choice. You cannot go and make that stamp if you want to stamp. Within 2 weeks, your names will be sent to a particular printing company, which you'll be advised, with your seal number and authorization, if you so do, to make you a stamp. It's a year almost now, so I can't tell you the cost anymore, but they work with my office to give you a good price. But it's not a must. You don't have to if you don't want to. Use your precious fist and do your writing and use your seal. Keep your seal safe. If you're going abroad for a short vacation, make sure it is locked away in a secured place. If you're going for extended time, you ought to bring that seal to the office of the custos for safe keeping. The seal is your responsibility. And if by any way, let me not use any word stronger than that, if by any way you have caused anyone to use that seal except you, you are going to be held responsible. Try not to lose it by leaving it somewhere seal was brought to my office. JP walked into a business place and left it on the desk and walked out. And the person who saw it was kind enough to take that seal and bring it to the office of the custos and say that JP left it XY. And it was given back, of course, with a warning. Because if you lose the seal, when the request goes into Kingston for you to be given another seal, they're going to see whether or not it was by your own carelessness that you mislaid that seal, and you're going to have to pay for it. And the cost is somewhere about 15,000 or more. So that seal in your hand, what's the last price we paid, Mrs. Cole? Was it 15,000 the last we asked for somebody, okay? So you're getting that seal today, compliment of the Minister and Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. It cost, but if you lose it, and it's your fault, you have to pay for it. So can I share my one experience? Just a camera seal in my car, you know. But the heat, when you lock up that car in the sun, because they had these same thing that was it together, it pulled. So I had to pay to fix back mine, to repair mine. So I learned. I don't keep it, never again, because I'm not paying a second time. And that was a long time ago when it was much. Yeah. All right, so usually during your training, part of it was to go to the lockups. But because this training is now virtual, it doesn't happen anymore. So what is going to happen now is, even though you got your certificate that you're trained, you got your writ and your seal that you're JP, you're still going to be taken to the lockups. We're not saying that every JP will do lockup visits, you know. Let me tell you, no, that's not going to happen. But you must have a first experience, and then after that, you will discuss with the person who is the coordinator for the lockup visits, and then you will be placed on a roster. And so this gentleman to my right is the coordinator for the lockup visits. And so he will get the list, and he will schedule you for the visitation, which is not going to be more than 10 maximum at a time. So we can't take everybody at the same time, right? And then hereafter, the decision will be taken whether or not you will be rostered to visit the lockups. After a year or two, those of you who wish to join the illustrious group that sit on the lay magistrate bench will receive a special training to join with Your Honor and myself and Mr. Gray, who is responsible for the roster. Again, he doesn't do the scheduling, so don't blame him. The scheduling is done in the office of the custos. He gets a copy, you get a copy, and a copy sent to judge. And that is, we hope we can, as other persons have become more senior and stepping off the stage, or the younger person will step in and fill those breach. I look forward, as your custos, working with you. Don't listen to some of my volunteers who say, custos expect everybody to work as hard as he works. And don't listen to Mr. Forrester either. I just want you to do your full share of work. Maintain and understand your responsibility so as to make the work lighter for all of us. Mr. Ramchandani will tell you when he sit to sign, there's a whole pile of documents. So, and I need to say this. Do not put any sign in your office to say that you only sign document between 12 and 12:30. Because if I'm told that it is there, I shall pay you a visit. And the word shall is strong in legal terms, right? I shall pay you a visit, and I will personally take it off the wall. And with courtesy, hand it to you. If you're a business person, do not tell any person that come to you that you have to make a sale before you sign a document. Because you're tactfully indicating to that person that they must buy something before you can sign or authenticate a document. Don't do that, please. I admonish you in the name of our Lord Jesus. Be the best servant that you can ever be. Don't forget that we serve with humility, and we serve our people, and we put them and prefer them first. So once again, I congratulate you on your appointment as a Justice of the Peace for St. James and the wider Jamaica, and may God bless you richly. Thank you.
I'm sure you can do much better than that. And I would admonish you not to be fooled by his very quiet disposition. He knows when to stand his ground. Thank you very much, Costas, for that message. At this time, I'll invite Mrs. Carrie-Ann Quayle-Casserly, without further ado, to introduce our guest speaker. Let us welcome her on
all protocols have already been observed, but oblige me to recognize the Honorable Delroy Chuck, KCMP Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and Bishop, the Honorable Conrad Pitkin, CDJP Custos of St. James. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we gather for a moment of profound significance, the commissioning of our newly appointed Justices of the Peace. This ceremony is not merely a formal installation, but a celebration of service, integrity, and the enduring values that strengthen our nation. So, on this occasion, it is my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker, a man whose career exemplifies dedicated justice, public service, and national development. The Honorable Delroy Chuck has served Jamaica with distinction for nearly 3 decades. First elected to Parliament in 1997, and he has represented the constituency of St. Andrew Northeastern with unwavering commitment. His leadership, your leadership, sir. Your journey has included service as Speaker of the House of Representatives, opposition spokesman on justice, and now as Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Minister Chuck has been a driving force in modernizing Jamaica's justice system. Under his stewardship, the ministry has advanced reforms to improve management in our courts, strengthen the integrity, commission, and expand access to justice for ordinary Jamaicans. He has championed legislation such as the Protected Disclosures Act, promoted alternate dispute resolution, and worked tirelessly to reduce case backlogs, ensuring that justice is not delayed, but delivered. Beyond the politics, Minister Chuck is a lawyer, journalist, and I think still an educator. And he has brought a wealth of knowledge and experience to his public service. His mantra, "The brave may fall, but never yield," reflects his steadfast commitment to resilience, accountability, and the protection of citizens' rights. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I invite to the podium the Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kerry and Quila Castling. The Honorable Custos Pitkin, Parish Court Judge Fairclough, other members of the Advisory Committee, I know Lachu heads must be there, and other outstanding citizens of Montego Bay, St. James, newly minted Justice of the Peace. Good afternoon. Let me say how pleased I am to express my appreciation, not only to the Custos for the wonderful work you have been doing, sir, in St. James, but also to the 28 newly minted JPs who offer yourself for service. Custos Pitkin has given you the charge, and I'm not going to repeat. I will just adopt most of what he has said, except to add one or two emphases, because it's important that even though it has been drilled into your mind during the training, and the Custos has given you the charge, that it must never be forgotten the purpose of becoming a GP. Firstly, it is one of service. You have come forward to voluntarily provide service to your fellow citizens. Secondly, the office must never, ever be abused. And if you deliver your whatever service you're providing, or how you behave, how you speak, how you act inappropriately, then you taint the office of the Justice of the Peace. And as Custos Pitkin has pointed out, when there's one JP that brings the vocation into disrepute, it not only affects that JP and his or her family, but it affects all JPs. Because when one JP acts inappropriately or misconduct him or herself, then everybody believes that all JPs are like that. So it's extremely important that you uphold the image of this office. Again, I cannot emphasize more, as Custos Pitkin has done. Do not accept payment or invite payment for the service. It undermines your integrity. Most importantly, you must be persons of character. If you are not a person of character, people will know. If you're, people just have to look at you and see in your eyes whether you are a person of integrity and character. And they will see and know who you are, and it doesn't take long before they recognize who you are. Now, you have joined a noble body that have provided distinguished service to Jamaica and continue to provide distinguished service to Jamaica. Now, this is something that is very important for you to lift or to continue to ensure that the image of JPs are what others want to emulate. And as the Custos pointed out, you must be known in your community. You being commissioned today is not a national award where you put behind your name CD and OJ. JP must mean that you are providing service to your community and not just profiling. So JP must not be just profiling behind your name. You must be a shining light in your community so that others will look up to you as the person not only that can give guidance, that is one of a leader, someone who they can depend on for reliable information. Most importantly, if people come to you for information and you don't know, let them know you don't know. Point them out to where you can find information, where they can find the information. They can always call AAA Justice and get guidance as to where they can find information. Moreover, please, your integrity demands that you don't assist residents that you really don't know. And I mean it, because there are people who will come to you, ask you to identify them. And until NIDS come, please be on your guard. Because they will come with picture and tell you that their name is Delroy Chuck. But they say, but I know another Delroy Chuck. But they say, I also name that. And you foolishly go and witness it. And they can now get out a driver's license or other documents in that name. And that when you witness a signature that you don't know, then you're opening the door to corruption and a lot of misdeeds. And although people come to you for recommendation, if you don't know the person, you can't recommend the person. There are many people who come to me as MP and say, can you recommend me? Say, if you recommend me, then, I will get a visa or I will get a job. I said, what am I to say? I only know you for 2 minutes. And what am I to say? I can't go out of my way and indicate that I know you for so many years. It's my integrity that is at stake. And across Jamaica, there are many JPs who are witnessing land documents and don't appreciate that sometimes the persons whose name you're witnessing may well be false. But it allows that person to sell property. And you could well find yourself in the criminal courts for being negligent or reckless in witnessing a signature and allow property to be transferred because you witnessed that person's signature who is really not the person, but has the name of the owner on the property and are therefore able to transfer the property. You could well end up in court on a criminal charge for being reckless and acting in concert with the fraudulent proprietor. So these are matters you must be very careful about. But at the same time, in offering service, please be open, get information, provide information, and most importantly, as you go about your community, not only must you be a guiding light in wherever you live, but do as best as possible to encourage others to work with you as you make your community even better. Let's face it, you're joining a vocation that is over 800 years old. And the Justice of the Peace got its name because outstanding citizens in the counties and boroughs of England were appointed by the Duke to serve the community and to ensure that peace and justice were maintained. So that is how the term Justice of the Peace, because it was outstanding citizens in these counties and boroughs and districts of England who were appointed by the Duke to maintain order. Now, things have developed, and we now have professional judges and professional policemen. So we are not asking you to do that, but you must still assist in maintaining peace and order, working with the police, working with other stakeholders, and where you can do justice as lay magistrates or working with the courts, that you ensure that justice is accessed and served. Justice of the peace, as I say, I adopt the charge from the custos. But there's so much more that you're being called upon to do, to serve not only your parish, but Jamaica. Jamaica has many problems. And one of the problems that we are determined to solve, every single one of us must be determined to solve, is the one of reduction of crime. We are doing extremely well now, but we need to even double up our effort to ensure that we can reduce crime even more. Using murder as the basis, in 2023, murder reduced by about 9%. In 2024, it went down by just under 19%. And in last year, it went down by just under 42%. Last year, there were 673 murders, which was just under 500 murders less than in 2024. Western Jamaica, especially St. James, saw a significant reduction, and we must congratulate the police for that tremendous work. I was with, up to yesterday, commissioning 31 other JPs, and I must just to indicate, Costas, that with the 28, you have 935, so this 28 will take you just over 950. But we are hoping that you will get over 1,000 soon, because you have many more applications coming. But in the area that I urge you to participate as much as possible is to work very closely with the police. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, as I did this morning at 10, I met with the JPs in Westmoreland and spoke about the relationship they must have with the police. And I will be doing that with the executive tomorrow to say how the JPs can work very closely with the police to continue to reduce murder and other serious crimes. Let me say, ladies and gentlemen, newly minted JPs, if we can continue to reduce crime and murders in particular, then Jamaica will get the credit and the goodwill that we deserve in bringing crime under control. And now you have leveled the U.S. advisory going from 3 to 2. We want it down to 1. And it can get down to 1 if we can get crime even further reduced by another 50%, including murders. In St. James, last year this time, St. James had 5 murders. Up to yesterday, there were 4 murders. We hope there are no more for the rest of the month. But across Jamaica, up to yesterday, we had 32 murders, which is 36 murders less than last year, which is 54% reduction. And if we can just keep it like that to the end of the month, then Jamaica in January 2026 would record the lowest monthly murder in decades. The last time the lowest was about 47. And now if we can keep it to just the low 30s, and then next month in February, we want to get below 1 a day. In other words, for February, we want to get it below 28. But that is where, Justice of the Peace, ladies and gentlemen, you have to give your support and assistance. The police cannot be at every corner. They cannot be at everybody's elbow. But you are in the community. and you know many of the persons who are given trouble, or you can get that information by interacting with people within your community. And I'm not asking you to do the police work and go and arrest them, or run up to the police station and say, who the man down there, he's the man giving trouble. Quietly, confidentially, put the information together, pass it on to the custos, or get it to the superintendent of police, so that the police can get the relevant information that is useful to apprehend these disgusting criminals and gunmen who are taking over far too many space in Jamaica. We have to continue to put gunmen, scammers, criminals on the defensive. And it is with the support of the citizens that that is going to happen. If you look at murders and the weapons used to commit murders over the last 4 or 5 years, close to 80% of the killings were with an illegal gun. And as I keep repeating, if we can get the guns out of the hands of these disgusting criminals, then we could have less than 200 murders per year. Much less. But that has to be the aim, that we try as best as possible to work with the police to get the guns out of the hands of criminals. And the police is getting information, using intelligence to find these guns. Over the last 5 or so years, they have picked up more than 1,000 guns off the street, thousands of ammunitions. But there's still many out there. Because somehow our young men feel that with a gun, it opens up the door to wealth, to influence, to power. We have to find alternative ways to get our young people to know that there's a better life. Because when they're found with a gun, or they commit robbery, rape, or shooting, or killing, they could well end up not only six feet down possible, or they could end up in custody or in jail for decades. And it is the families who also suffer, because many of the children are left out there on the road. So I'm urging you to tell the mothers, the sisters, the girlfriends, that it's not worth for your man to be out there using the gun, bringing in money for you. Because when they're caught, every month you have to go to Kingston, to GP or district prison to look for them. When you go to the prisons, in Kingston, is pure women out there visiting these criminals, convicted criminals. And I'm saying before they get convicted, please encourage them to give up the gun. Find something worthwhile to do with your lives. And there's so many opportunities now for our young people to engage in productive activity. And those who are idle and can't say that they can't find a job or they don't want to work, let them use their time to go get a skill. And the government is paying people now to go get a skill. Heart Institute is paying the youngsters. Anyone who wants a skill and who is not working can get a regular 67,000 per month, and it may be more soon, just to go to a Heart Institute or to get training and get a skill. So the government is doing its part, but others must get these young people to apply for these roles to get a skill or to get a job. They must recognize that getting a conviction is not worth it. Believe me. I'm happy to report that today the Senate passed the Expungement Act, which I tabled and passed in the House a couple of weeks ago. Now, the Expungement Act will widen the number of offenses that can be expunged. The one which the MPs in St. James urged me to make sure we put it in was after a period of at least 10 years, persons who were convicted for drug trafficking, that they can be eligible for expungement. Not that they will get it, they can apply. But a social inquiry report may well be done to show that over the last 10 and more years, they have put crime behind them, they have put drug dealing behind them. Because if the expungement committee is not satisfied, then the offense will not be expunged. But what is important, as a number of MPs have pointed out, that a number of persons got involved in the 90s, 80s and 90s in drug trafficking. And many of them are now, should I say, decent citizens? I know of many cases, some are teachers. Just recently, a lady begged me. She had a crime. She had to go and get a work permit in another island because she was being moved from Jamaica to another island. And yes, what she did could be expunged. But when you have a criminal record in it, expungement is not a right. You're eligible for it. So I told her the process has to go through. We have to check the criminal records. We have to get a social inquiry report in many cases. And it could take at least 6 months before an expungement is approved. It's not worth it to have a criminal conviction. And even though it might be a minor crime, sometimes when you really need a clean record to get a better job or to get a visa, you run and you beg your MP and the minister, see if you can rush it for me. I'm not in any rush, you know, because it has to go through the process. And sometimes you say it's only one conviction. And when you go and look at the criminal records, there are other convictions. So we have to wait for the Criminal Records Office to go and examine the records to make sure that the only one you say you're convicted for is the only one. And it has turned out that sometimes there are others. But what is important in the Senate passing that bill today is that more persons will be eligible for expungement, and we hope that more persons will get the opportunity for a second chance. But this second chance, I'm hoping that they will also take the opportunity to let others throughout Jamaica know that having a conviction is not a good thing. And it is frustrating, it is difficult to get an expungement, and there are still many offenses for which expungement is not available. But justices of the peace, there's a lot more you need to acquaint yourself with, not only in the Ministry of Justice, but with information right across Jamaica. Today is the beginning of a new life. You have to start reading, listening, and informing yourself better. Most importantly, don't listen too much to social media. And don't pass on information that you can't verify. It is damaging the psyche of many Jamaicans when you see the foolishness that goes on for information and social media. I beg of you, don't, when things are sent to you, don't pass it on until you can verify it. And I ask you today, you may think that you've been commissioned, that you have now achieved your best. No, it's the beginning of what you can be. You must try to elevate yourself in every way so that when people look at you, they will say, that is someone I want to emulate. At the same time, I beg of you, be humble, as the Custos tell you. Don't go around and announce, I say, you refer now to me as Justice so-and-so, you know. Your community must know that you have been commissioned and they can come to you for assistance. But I beg of you, don't use the fact that you're a JP to feel you can push your way around. You know, many police officers tell me that when they stop a vehicle, JP, wind down the window. You know who I am? I'm not denying that you're a GP and you should have some status, and you do have some status, but don't push it. Be humble. If you're humble, you will get ahead much faster than you trying to push it around. And as Costas has repeated, service is the mantle that you hold now. You must find ways and means that you can serve your fellow citizens. And as the good book tells you, it is better to give than to receive. And what do you give? There's so much you can give. You can give good advice. You can give good cheer. You can ask people how you can help them. And in every way, I can tell you that giving service is highly beneficial and satisfying to you. I can only think of my mother in the district way up in the hills of Clarendon. I know as a shopkeeper, she was just helping everybody. And you know, I remember her saying the only thing she wants in life is that her 7 children must never embarrass her. And she wants them educated. And she begged all of us to walk the straight and narrow paths. And also, she doesn't want to bury any of us. We must bury her. And she achieved, to the best of my knowledge, the satisfaction. I remember on her 90th birthday, she tell all of us how happy she is. She can go home now to her Lord. And when I reflect on how much service she helped the community, I said service is not only satisfying, but highly rewarding. You would be amazed how when the way it comes back to you in unknown ways. The people you help, don't expect thanks from them. In fact, they'll cut their eye and say, you won't do it. But in different ways, it comes back to you. So I ask you, when you help others, you give your best of yourself to others, do it with good cheer. Don't expect anything. But amazingly, it comes back several-fold in different ways. So I want you to go out there and be a shining light. And always remember, let your light so shine that others may see your good works and glorify our Father who is in heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, for that wealth of information. I'm quite certain that between yourself and the Custos, that our newly minted our commission, Justice of the Peace, will know the right path to follow. And I'm quite certain that they will commit to providing our country with the best service possible. We are going down the program. We are close to completing in 2 hours. At this time, I'll invite Mrs. Casserly again to make some special presentations. Is Mrs. Casserly still around? Oh, okay. For a minute, I thought that was you, but... Do you need a mic down there, or do you want to come up? You'll come up? Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. So, to the Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. On behalf of the newly appointed Justices of the Peace, we kindly present you, sir, with this token to express our gratitude on your tireless efforts in strengthening our judicial system, as well as taking the time to be present with us today, sir, and encouraging us to take this office seriously and be accessible to our communities and to do it in good cheer. All right, God bless. Thank you.
Bishop, the Honorable Conrad Pitkin, on behalf of the newly minted Justice of the Peace, please accept this token as an expression of our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the confidence expressed in us to work in partnership to serve the citizens of our community here in St. James and the wider Jamaica. Custos Pitkin, we thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see me? Thank you. It's my distinct honor to present a gift to the most valuable person to Bishop the Honorable Conrad H. Pitkin, Custos Rotelorum of St. James. I have a gift for Mrs. Deverly Pitkin, who we were told could not make it today. You will agree with me, Honorable Custos, that Mrs. Pitkin have been a steadfast source of strength, encouragement, and quiet support to you as her husband. As you serve the church, the community, and the nation with distinction. Mrs. Pitkin, her grace, her humility, unwavering commitment may not always take the spotlight, but they are deeply felt and profoundly appreciated by all who have witnessed her devotion. Therefore, as a member of the 28th membership cohort, as a newly minted Justice of the Peace of Jamaica, serving here in the parish of St. James, it is my pleasure to present this token of our appreciation to Mrs. Pitkin. To the Honorable Costas for Mrs. Pitkin.
All right, now to Mrs. Kohal, who has been she has been a teacher to me a long time ago, guys. You know, she's taught me so much, and her strength is what brought me here today, you know, and her resilience in working with Sir Custis. So I do want to honor her because she works so tirelessly in the office. All right, so come, Mrs. Kohal, and we love you.
Mrs. Francis, is that come? Before or after? On behalf of the newly commissioned Justices of the Peace, please accept this small token of our gratitude as a symbol of our deep appreciation. Mrs. Francis or Miss?
That is why we're not doing well, because the Costas did say don't give one JP too much work, right? Mr. Smith should have been here, but I'm going to take the opportunity to present this because he's a little shy. Mr. Gray, our Master of Ceremony, I don't know who was listening well, but he did not tell us his name. But I know he had a lot of responsibility as it relates to ensuring who is on the roster to go visit to jail visit. And when you get to that other level of lay magistrate, you can have a chance to sit in the court with additional training. Sir, I want to thank you for taking on the mantle abruptly and carrying out so well. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Please accept this on our behalf.
You know, I came here this evening wondering where my next meal was coming from. There you go. Thank you very much. You're so gracious in delivering that gift. This is a special evening, it's a special place, and it's a Friday evening. So without further ado, I will invite Ms. Johnny Chantel Allen to move the vote of thanks. Let's welcome her on stage.
You know, it's a very long time since I've heard my middle name in public. It sounds odd. This is the part of the program everybody hates, when somebody has to come up and say thanks and they go on too long and people want to eat and they're hungry and it's Friday evening. But Honorable Custis, Conrad Pitkin, Minister Delroy Chuck, members of this cohort of 28 Justices of the Peace, your family and friends, members of the Custis' Advisory Committee, good afternoon all. It's almost done. You can sound a little more excited. All of us in this room, in one way or the other, have already served our communities and continue to do so. Some of us are teachers, educators, I should say, in being more general. Some in the medical profession, some in tourism. I see others who are in all different spheres, some of us in politics. We have served in various ways, but this calling to serve your community in a more direct way as a Justice of the Peace is something that I want to thank. If I could be so beyond myself to say thank you for firstly giving of yourselves to become members of this body of Justices of the Peace. To just say, and I want to briefly just thank a few people who have been very instrumental in making sure that today's program went as it did in such a wonderful way, in such a beautiful setting as we overlook the Caribbean Sea from the beautiful parish of St. James. And I'm sure the minister doesn't really want to rush back to Kingston right now. The planning committee headed by Mrs. Carrie-Ann Quayler-Casserly, who is no stranger to putting on events and making sure that they go so well. I want to thank you and the members of the team that you so ably led without even a hitch to ensure that today we all will remember fondly. I want to also thank, of course, and I'm going to leave the last two persons that are in this room who spoke to thank them. But I also want to thank, I know the Custis is a man who takes advice, he takes counsel, and his advisory committee is one that I know you rely on to have us all at this point today. And certainly the members of your staff and those who are in your office who are instrumental in making sure today went as it did. I want to, on behalf of the 28 of us, to say thanks to your teams. The fact that the minister and this event has your attention shows the importance of Justices of the Peace and the role that we can play and ought to play in our communities. So I want to thank you, Minister, for making sure that this is a part of your agenda, to ensure that you are participating across the island to ensure that we get the message and get the point of why we have been so commissioned and that we don't forget it. And like you say, remain humble. Custis Pitkin, You say many of us have not, we have gotten to this place because we have volunteered. And you have also encouraged. I will say that I have been encouraged to volunteer. And so I am here today thanks to your encouragement to ensure that I continue my service to my community in this fashion. I want to thank you for making sure that the work that is being carried out by your office through you is one that all of us have come to appreciate here in St. James. So I want to thank you not only for today, but your ongoing service to Jamaica, to St. James. And I trust that you will continue, even if you might be tempted to retire. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing more to add but to just simply say that today is the beginning of a new chance for us to continue to be of service to our country and our fellow citizens. And for that, I wish to thank all of you. Thank you for making sure that the peace is kept in our community and we can continue to see the types of reduction that we all wish to see in this, our Jamaica land we love. Thank you very much. I really should have thanked the standing MC who, with the quick wit that you showed, were able to not make anyone online recognize that we had a glitch. I want to thank you for that and for the entertainment that was provided by that beautiful voice that I know now that the new management will ensure will continue to be heard across Jamaica. Thank you.
All right, everyone, so as customary, we'll be doing a group photograph before you go off to take your special with someone special to you or that. So I'm going to ask you to remain and somebody remove this desk for me. And we need 1, 2, 3 chairs right in the front, please. Thank you.
You have been a great crowd, and you'll be rewarded by hearing Mr. Beswick one more time before we close. Mr. Beswick. I hope he's not stumbling, you know. I ought not to have been here now. So I'll share a little information. One of my sons was nominated for the Grammy Awards. That's Jesse Royal. And so he invited me to go to California. But how can I give up Montego Bay with all this good food and being with the custodial minister, you guys? So this time, Mr. Beswick, are you ready? No? Okay, don't worry. But we'll do the pictures first, and then he can prepare himself. Customs Minister, ladies and gentlemen, could you assemble at the front with the newly minted JPs? You want them on the podium? The taller ones to the back, and the shorter ones at the front. Where's Mr. Ferguson? That means you. They just call your name. Yeah, right. Here, man, yeah.